Hello, friends. All right. Yay, hi. I can't talk. I can't talk today. So as you all know, we are going to be covering coloring in Affinity Designer. And I want to reiterate, I am not a professional at this and I am not a teacher. I'm going to go fast, probably. But if you do have questions, if you want to just like message them to me, and I will get to them when I can. So I got it set up now so that when I'm in Affinity Designer, you can see at the bottom down here if I click or type anything. So like if I'm making a shape, let me make that a color so it'll show it better, and I want to duplicate it, and I just hit Control J to do that. See, look, it says Control J, and I could probably stand to leave that up there just a little bit longer. Artboards are your canvases, and we are going to be using 2 artboards today. We're going to be using one for the actual like drawing, and we're going to be using another as a reference. And drum roll, this is what we're going to be drawing in Affinity today. And when I say drawing, I mean tracing. Close that because I don't need that. This is it. I drew this yesterday. And she's a little wonky, but it's okay because in Affinity, we're going to get her together. But like I said, we're going to have 2 artboards. So we're going to have a reference artboard and we're going to have the artboard that we're actually going to draw on. And we're going to have this same image on both artboards because of reasons that I will explain here in a little bit. But first, let's get our artboard set up. The cool thing about artboards in Affinity, and I'm only speaking from experience with Affinity Designer because I've worked in that more than I've worked in Illustrator. Like I haven't really like done a deep dive into Illustrator. I'm sure all these functions are in there. So whenever I say in Designer, like I don't mean that these only exist in Designer. They can exist other places too. This is just what I know. Great thing about it is that, so you see all these layers over here, all of these layers on the left hand side, that all becomes one layer, right? So we're gonna name this one. And by the way, if you just click on like any layer, like well double click it, you can rename it. So I'm gonna name this one reference. That way we know this is gonna be our reference. Now also I'm going to hit Control J and duplicate this entire artboard. And I'll just hold down Shift and drag it over to the left. And we'll name this one, we'll just name it new, whatever. I have to capitalize it and it's gonna drive me crazy. All right. So now we've got our new one and we've got our reference. The reference we're not really gonna touch arting to, so it'll be a little slow to respond. That is perfectly okay. Now that we've got both of our artboards, the new and the reference set up, we're going to talk about color palettes. Just real quick. Color palettes. And I wish that like I could like embiggen this. As a matter of fact, hold on y'all, because I need this zoomed in. So right here, this under the swatches tab is where I keep all my color palettes. A color palette is, I mean, exactly what you think it is. It's just a collection of colors that you're going to use for whatever reason. As you can see, I have one for my candle company. I also have a collection of skin tones. So there's 2 different ways that you can make a palette. I'm just going to open a new document. We'll just use this IG post as an example. So I'm just gonna put some squares on here, some rectangles, and we'll just use, oh, that one's real big. I don't want to use that one. Let's do this one. So let's say I want to make this one red, this one whatever color that is. I am just blindly clicking on colors. All right. Actually, there's more than 2 ways you can make a palette. You could do it. So the first way, you could do it what I call manually. This hamburger menu up in the top right, you click that and you go to, I always use add application palette, because that palette makes it available for the whole application and not just whenever you have that one document open. So we're going to do add application palette, and it's unnamed. You can go back into this menu, hit rename, and just name it whatever. Now my palette's named whatever. So whatever color you have selected, which right now it's red, if you hit these little 3 squares that say add current fill to palette, you can add them that way. That palette named whatever, as you can see, does not exist. I'm going to come back up here to show you the second way. Let's create a palette from this document, and we're going to add it as an application palette. So that little hamburger menu, create palette from document, and then I'm going to pick, like I said, because I always use it, as application palette. It pulls all of the colors that it can find in that document to create the palette. I have a picture on my hard drive, right? Here's the picture. This picture is on my hard drive, right? Okay. I'm going to create a palette from this picture. So close that out so it's not there. I'm going to go to the menu, and I'm going to go down to create palette from image. And this is the fun part. Okay, so select image. Hey Hakeem, how are you? I'm going to select the Fenty Beauty Foundation picture. I'm going to open it up, and as you can see, you cannot. It gives me the 5 most prominent colors in this image, right? So down here, sorry. So down here, it says number of colors. So that number right here, you can either use a slider, you could type it in. Will pull that many of the most prominent colors in that image, including the whites, including blacks, including like any grays that it picks up, whatever. So there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 36 foundations in this photo. So I'm going to type in 36, and I'm going to hit preview. And now it gives me all these colors, including white, because white is the color of the caps. I could go up to 38. I can do 50. And then down here you can save it as an application, or an application palette, document palette, or a currently selected palette. But yes, you can create palettes from images. And I think that's super fun. But as you can see over on the left, I have a lot of layers, and most of them have names. I cannot stress the importance of naming your layers, especially when you're doing something, especially like whenever you're drawing something that's got like a multitude of things, like especially like for me, drawing like human faces, naming the layers has been, listen catcher, I'm gonna need you to not do this. Please name your layers. I know it is a pain in the ass, but let me tell you, breaking things down into different layers and naming them, yeah, no, I mean, you can see I've got like a layer 13 and like a layer 11 here. Like, yeah, I mostly name my layers. Naming your layers is super important. That way you know what you're doing, you know what you're changing, you know what you're manipulating. we're going to start the outline. So, I'm just going to, well, first I'm going to lock this reference layer. That way I can't just like go over here and start touching it, but I can still like grab colors from it. I'm going to put all of this, all of these layers, I'm going to put them in a group. And if you pay attention down here, bottom right, what's cool about these named layers is that I actually exported this picture because I drew this picture in Procreate. I exported it as an SVG, and whenever I imported it into Affinity, whenever I imported it into Designer, it maintained those layer names. So this is perfect for me. So I'm just gonna turn the opacity down on her because we're gonna trace it, but we still want to use Tito. We still want to use our reference photo, but like not. So yeah, we're just gonna trace it. So I'm gonna turn this group all the way down. I think that's good. I'm gonna lock it, and I don't need the reference photo just yet. So she's gonna go over there for now. We'll focus on this one. Get that out of it. Okay. There is a pen tool over here on the left. And you use a pen tool to create like lines and other kind of strokes. That's what I'm gonna use to make these shapes. And then we can kind of, I'm gonna make the hair first, and then I'm gonna kind of dive into like how I manipulate the nodes, which are like the points that I'm gonna click around and make with the hair. We'll talk about nodes. I'm just gonna get started because clearly words are hard today. So whenever you connect a bunch of points in Designer, you make what's called a curve, and a curve is synonymous with a shape. That makes me excited. But all of these little squares right here are called nodes. Nodes can either have the shape of a square like these or a circle. So with these nodes, I'm going to go to the node tool, which is the letter A. So right now, all of these points have very sharp curves, very sharp angles. I'll say that, angles, and we want those to have rounder angles, because without the rounder angles, it looks like that. And that's not what her hair looks like. So we want curves. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to these curves that I selected. I'm going to select these. I'm just going to click and drag and select these here. And so up at the top, there is a little sub menu, a little toolbar that says convert. Right now, they're all considered sharp. I'm going to go to convert to smooth. And that makes them round. So anywhere that I see a node that I feel needs to be a little curvier, I'm going to convert those to smooth. And I won't do it for all of them, but I'll do it for a lot of them. You can also shift and select with those to select multiples also. You just need to make sure you have the node tool selected, which is A on the keyboard, or it's a little like white triangle. But yeah, as you can see, I got fairly close to her hair shape. But now I'm gonna go into like her bangs. The bottoms of her bangs, the tips of her bangs are sharp, but the swoops are curved. So I'm just gonna go, yes, I'll select those, make those curves, and none of these have points on them, but I'll add points to them. Contemplating. Oh, don't listen. Don't listen. I think that all of you, and I mean each and every one of you, all of you are some of the most talented people that I've met on this here app. And I mean that with every fiber of my being. Now we have the outline of hair, and it looks a little bit closer to what we have on the image. And so now, before I go any further, I am going to name this hair. Like, if you have a character that has circle eyes, like if you don't feel like drawing a circle with like the pen tool, let me show you something real quick. Circle, right? But let's say you want to like put a curve in it or whatever, or like a dip in it. If you go up here to convert to curves, it'll make it so that you can manipulate each node. Don't be afraid of using like the shapes, like the pre-built shapes. Like, the only thing that matters is if you're happy with your end result. Because, listen, literally everything physical is a shape. Shapes aren't limited to, you know, polygons, rectangles, squares, triangles, dodecahedrons, hearts, circles, ovals, ellipses, none of that. Like, shapes are just shapes. But everything is a shape. Everything is a shape. Your TV is a shape, or a series of shapes. The human body is a series of shapes. A cup is a shape. A lighter is a shape. Crumbs are shapes. Like, maybe they're one singular shape, maybe they're a collection of shapes, maybe they're two shapes mashed together. One big shape, that's all we are, just one big stop. And also, whenever you're drawing, don't be afraid of duplication. I'm gonna dive into that in a minute. I duplicate shit all of the time. Especially with things that like are essentially the same. About naming things. It is important if you're doing a very layered design to name things. Do you have to name like everything? No, you don't. Because I'm not gonna sit here and go through this eye and, you know, like iris and cornea and, you know, pupil or whatever else. Like, I'm not getting into medical terms. Like, if I can get the gist of what it is, then we're good. Now we gotta get her face and such. And actually, I just realized there's a cheaty way I could do that too. So I am going to draw or start marking her whole head, even the part that's in her hair. All of this. Oh no. Wait, I need to close that. Close that curve, okay. We'll give her a neckline. Okay, so all of this. Curve. As you go in, tweak some things. Just trying to get it lined up with the line that I drew. Actually, I want to center those eyebrows because it's kind of bugging me. Okay. All right, so this is her head. Take the hair out. Right, this is her head. So what I'm going to do, because I want to get all of those little marks, like where the hair is, I want those cut out. I'm going to duplicate the hair real quick. I'm just going to call this one hair dupe. And I'm going to color it in. We'll just do a gray. And then I'm going to color in her face whatever color. The colors don't matter. So I'll move her face below the hair dupe. Hey Cap, I am having a good day. How are you? So moved the hair or the face below. Here, we'll call this head. I moved the head below the duplicate of the hair, and now I'm going to subtract the hair from the shape of the head. So now, what that's left me with is this. So now it follows shape of the hair. I am from Oklahoma. I'm is. Right, so now I can go in and refine it some more, kind of get it lined up with her hair even further. Take that out. Oh, no, don't want to do that because it's moving all the rest of them. So now I'm going to kind of do the same thing with the back of her hair, because I do need to make a shape for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a rectangle, right? And I'll fill that rectangle in. And we'll put this we'll make another hair dupe. And the reason I'm making duplicates is because they'll go away once I subtract them from the shape. So I am going to subtract the curve called hair dupe from of hair. Like those two and subtract. And now I have a very exact shape. But I'm going to do it again, so I'm going to call this one head dupe, because I want that curve of her neck, I want that to come out of there too. So it is going to leave me with two shapes. If I subtract that, then I've got the back of the hair and two curves. I'll just take that fill out. And now we are almost done. We really are almost done. I know this is like a lot, and I'm sorry, but I promise y'all we're almost done. What is this? Oh, that's the corner of that rectangle. That looks sloppy. That looks so messy. Go in here and delete all of these. I don't need all of those. I don't need that. And I don't need that. And I don't need these two. I'm just trying to clean up some of these stray strokes around here, because I don't need them. Like these two. What? No, I don't need you. In fact, I don't need that one. Or that one. I can just bring that one on over here. Fix it. Get everything lined up so the lines overlap. There we go. So we have an outline. We've got all these parts. We've got the nose ring, top lip, bottom lip. Actually, we can just put all this in a group called mouth, just to kind of shorten up our layer list. Get the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, the hair, the head, the neck, and the back of the hair, right? I'm gonna put all this in a group, and I am going to create what is called a symbol. A symbol is an image that, if you remember, whenever I made the this thing, like how I would create one of them, make it a symbol, and then it would manipulate all of them. I'm gonna do that with this. So we'll just call this Geneva. That's her name now. So this group, I'm just gonna come here and I'm gonna do create a group called Geneva. So now we are going to create another artboard. We're gonna bring this down here. We're gonna call this one, we'll call this one outline. I'm going to take this symbol over here on the right. Nope, no, I'm not. I'm going to make a background first. So we can actually see it, because it's really hard to see an outline on a transparent background. Right? That border off there. We don't need that. One more time. So now I'm going to drag this symbol right here. Now, zoom in. Let's see, how can y'all see both of them? Okay, so this right eyeliner wing. Yay! This right eyeliner wing, I'm going to manipulate that. So, oh wait, let me, okay. Well, I'll do it on this one. If I drag this way here, it drags it on both of them. So everything I do in one image, like if I need to fix something, is gonna fix all of them. That way I only have to do this once. There's one thing I don't like, is having to do something twice. In drawing cases, obviously. And now I'm about to color it. Now's the fun part. So I am just going to, and this is why I have a reference photo. So I'm gonna go to my little fill area. I'm gonna use the eyedropper to select her skin. And then I'll click it. And now she's colored in. Except I have to undo it because I don't want her colored in everywhere, clearly. Let's try that again. Oh, it's gonna have to. Ooh. It might color it in everywhere. We can detach that one. Okay. So, let's go back to head. Recolor that. For the neck, we'll use the same color. I'm not well versed at all in digital art forms, so any Affinity console definitely good. Well, if you have to raid and run, please go take a break, stretch your legs, stretch your limbs, I guess, get you some water, whatever it is you need to do, and you can come back if you want to, or you can enjoy the rest of your day if you want to, but you just don't feel like you have to stick around. But I do love having you here. All right. So, I know what I forgot to do. Okay. We'll have to turn Geneva back into a symbol. Just for now, because I forgot. Add lines in her hair so that it looks like hair. Because I'm great at this. So what I'm using now is the pencil tool, and I've got the stabilizer turned on, so it kind of drags the line and makes a smoother line. Quite nice. I have to believe my sister's birthday dinner in a little bit. Okay, well, I hope you and your sister have a great birthday evening. Hope your sister has had a wonderful birthday. All I'm doing right now is just drawing lines in Geneva's hair. And I might have to fix some of these, I can tell. Also, I do want y'all to know that I do have a pen tablet. Oh, yes, it is Affinity. Thank you, Happy. Mod, not mod. Sorry, I wasn't looking at chat, y'all, because I was trying to draw these lines. But yes, I'm using Affinity and I love it. I've been using it for 4 years now, and I love it. This is the first, like, this year is the first time I've ever, like, drawn in it. But yeah. And see, you know, I've never, well, first of all, thank you so much. But yeah, I've never watched 16, but yes, I do have a Wacom Intuos tablet. Yes, I do, but I'm not using that right now. Today I'm using mouse and keyboard. See, mouse. Back to Learn from Work means I like that Pizza just comes in, like, drops some knowledge, and she's like, all right, I'm out. I love it, really do. Okay, so this is probably a good, like, lesson point. So about symbols. Symbols are noted in your layers panel by these little orange lines next to them. All right, Ellie. I'll come see you in a minute. Anything that's associated with the symbol is noted by this orange line next to it. Anything that's not does not have that orange line. As you can see, oh, matter of fact, let me turn it off. This one has the lines in her hair. This one does not. I am going to group all of these lines together, and I'm going to call them hairlines. And I'm just going to drag them up and underneath her hair. So now everybody has them. Yay, hairlines. I think I'm gonna put another one. I feel like there should be one over here. Go to the hairline group. There's one little one right there. And see, look, now that little one's down there too. Yay, hairlines. All right. But we are going to detach this Geneva from the symbol. See, those orange lines are gone. That way it doesn't color in all instances of this character. So yeah, we need to be in here. So now we go back to coloring the head and the neck. Now, as you can see, her eyeliner is on top of her hair. This is where the order of your layers comes into play. So everything in this layers panel, if it's on top of something in the layers panel, it's on top of that thing in the image itself. So like her hair, I want her hair to cover this eyeliner, that way it doesn't look like she's got like two physical like pieces of eyeliner sticking out of the side of her hair. So I'm going to click the hair in the layers panel. I'm going to drag it all the way to the top, I'm gonna nest that in there. We'll talk about nesting probably in a different stream, but yeah. So now the hair is over the eyeliner. That's what it's called. Let's add some more shapes to her first. But she needs a little dimension. So I'm gonna draw a rectangle. And it's going to go, I'm going to nest it in her neck. And what nesting means in Affinity is basically that shape is within that shape. And like the child shape, so like this, we'll call that neck shadow. The neck shadow is a child of this neck curve, meaning that it's bound by the borders of whatever it's nested in. So I am going to make this the color of, actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to convert this to curves first, and then I'm going to bring it down some because this is going to be shadow of her neck. And I'm going to take that outline off of it because I don't feel like that looked right. And I'm going to make it the same color as her skin, but I'm going to go into the colors, probably HSL sliders, and make it darker. Probably a little more saturated too. Okay. Now we've got a little dimension. Let's see, for her hair, because she's going to have a little shadow on her face, I do believe. I'm going to take my pencil tool. I'm going to draw a line close to the edge of her hair as I can, because I can always come back in and straighten it up. And I'm going to make that line thick. I'm going to make it the same color as her neck. I'm going to nest that on her face because that's where I want it to go. Give her a little some blush, a little kind of color around like the bridge of the nose and the cheeks, and we're going to use, since we're only using vectors in this one, we're going to use the effects and some opacity. Like, we're going to play with some opacity. So let's take this stroke off that rectangle. I'll grab this color from her cheek. I'm going to convert this to curves. I want this to be like centered. Okay. Add 2 points here. Convert those both to smooth, and while they're both still selected, I'm going to bring it up just a hair. But I'm going to shorten it. And then I'm going to come over here on the bottom right to effects. And this Gaussian blur, I'm going to turn that up. And then I'm going to turn the opacity of it down so it's not so stark. You can't even see that. There we go. So we'll call this nose bridge. And then we can do the same thing with blush. group all those together. Now I can control the opacity as a group, which I think I like that better. Same thing for the little dot on her lip, but instead of making that white, I'm gonna make it a lighter version of this color. Grab that color, lighten it a little bit, turn that blur up, and this program is so fun. It is so fun. Eyeshadow, that's what I'm forgetting. Okay, so for the eyeshadow, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another shape. Now for this, yeah, we're gonna grab that brown. I like that. It's not. Oh, speaking of, if you want your eyebrows like to look a little better, turn the opacity down on them. Matter of fact, I'm going to take the stroke off of these because I don't think I want that outline there. Bring your eyebrows down, makes them look just a little bit more natural. Just a little bit. Unless you want them to have thick eyebrows, thick dark eyebrows, that's fine too. But yes. This is done. So I am going to duplicate this whole artboard. And I'm going to do something a little bit crazy. Except for her hairlines and her nose, I'm going to take all of the outlines out, except for the nose and the hairlines. Like color, no stroke. Okay, so I'm going to select hair, mouth, the eyebrows, eyes, eyeshadow, head, the neck, and the back of the hair. Yep, and I'm just come up here, and I'm just going to turn all of it off. And now it looks almost completely different. Like almost completely different. For the hairlines, they're here. I'm going to change those to find another soft light, and then we'll turn the opacity down on that one, and then we'll do the same thing for the nose. Down on the nose. I think the last one I'm gonna do is oh wait, no, I was gonna do what time? 2:19. Okay. Let's duplicate. Hello Rock, how are you? We're coloring today. Oh, I need to finish her hair. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's do this. I'm going to duplicate this one. Actually, you know, I'm gonna save all this because I have not done that so far. We'll duplicate this one. We'll do one with some gradients in it. It's not grabbing this background. It's starting to piss me off. Okay, so for this one, we'll add like the gradients and stuff, like to her eyeshadow and to her hair. Oh, and in this one we could talk about color adjustment too. So okay, I am going to select her hair, just the curve of her hair, and I am going to grab this gradient fill tool. I'll come up here where it says type solid, and I'm gonna select linear. Now it's got some gradient in it, but I don't want it like this. I'm gonna click that color box. For some reason, the lighter colors that I'm gonna reverse this. Well, I guess, wait, nope, it's because I put it on upside down. That's why. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Put one color where it goes, and okay, so now we're good. All right. I'm going to select the green from this image, and then I'm going to select the same green, but I'm going to use the HSL sliders to make it darker, really dark, almost black. Okay, there we go. And now if you see on the gradient tool, there's like this little line that's a slider. You can adjust like where you want your gradient to go. I actually just want her gradient straight up and down, so I'll just move that top node. And actually even bring this up and give it kind of a harsher line. There we go, like that. Just a second, because Rock definitely deserves a shout out. Hair color. So where's her hair? Okay, here we go. So right now I have the hair selected, and there is a little circle that's half filled in, half not down here, called adjustments. I'm going to click adjustments, and I'm going to click HSL. If I click that and I click this hue shift, my computer's going to chug doing this, but I can change hair colors just by selecting hue shift. And the center will always be the original color. You have something to show me. What is it? We'll give her this color here. I like that. And we'll just close it out. We won't merge it just in case we want to go back and readjust it later. But now that means that the back of her hair is going to be a different color as well. So I'm going to select this. Okay. Back of her hair is going to be this color, but darker. And we can also put a gradient on her eyeshadow. So I'm gonna do that. And it still has that color selected in my recent, so I'll just click recent and it automatically applies it. But now I'm gonna add a blur to it. That way it looks more like eyeshadow. And I'm gonna do the same thing with the neck shadow, is add a blur to it so that it looks just a bit more natural. I'm gonna join these curves. And now I'm gonna close. So it makes a square shape that's in the same shape as the outlines of her nose, but I don't want that outline there. So we'll do that. I'm doing this for a reason, I promise. Alright, so I'm gonna make this dip down. And I'm gonna put a gradient on her nose. Put it down just a little further. But I don't want it that color. Give me just a second. This kid is doing a lot. That is too saturated for my liking, so I'm gonna turn it down, make it just a little bit darker, and bring it down just a little bit too. I just want it at the very bottom of her nose. And I wanna blur that out too. As a matter of fact, these lines could probably stand to be a different color. I did it. There's the outline. There we go. Now, I'll make it just a bit dark. There we go. There we go. For the last one, we're going to insert an artboard, and I made it up here, which is fine because it's right next to the reference picture. And we're going to first we're going to put a white background in it. And this one's going to be a little more difficult because it's going to require a lot of coloring. So we're gonna actually color in this. So I'm gonna bring that symbol over to this one, and we got everything over there. Okay, so I'm gonna hit detach because I don't want anything else to get those colors. And we're gonna go into what's called the pixel persona, and we're not gonna color it the same way. This was gonna be more like coloring, like traditional coloring, like we're used to. So I am going to go to head, and I'm going to add a pixel layer. Let's see. We're gonna grab. Actually, wait. Let's pick a brush. Use this top airbrush. Okay, so I picked my brush with this paintbrush tool over here, or I selected the brush tool, and then I picked the brush from the sprays and spatters collection. Thanks for not yelling. You're welcome. And now I'm going to go to color, and I'm going to select her skin color, and I'm going to start coloring this pixel. Her face is colored, but too much of it is colored. So how do we fix that? I will show you. If you nest a pixel layer inside of a curve, it still conforms to those shapes, and so you essentially get the same result as you would using a vector. But that looks too solid for me. I want it to look lighter. We'll turn the opacity down, because I want you to be able to tell. If I can show it. Okay, you're good. Maybe that's we'll just kind of do it messy. I'll do the same thing for neck. We have to add a pixel layer. If you just start coloring, it'll create a pixel layer automatically. The one thing you do have to worry about with pixels is if you go over it a second time, it will make that color darker. So, which is good for like, you know, the neck, but not good for other spots. If you stuck around to the end, or if you just came and joined us at the end, I want to thank you so very much, because I was very nervous doing this stream. I don't like teaching, and I don't like being vulnerable. And my art makes me very vulnerable. And I did promise a special announcement today. And since you're here, I will give you the announcement after I stretch. I'm doing now, because I don't want to get yelled at. I actually popped my back with that one. Thank you. Y'all are so nice to me. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, before I do anything else, let me save. Oh no, just because, like, what did I do? Wow. No, because, I mean, you know, Afro told me to stretch and to hydrate, and I wanted to do those before I got yelled at. Goes out of that program. Okay. I didn't save. Okay, it's saved. So, nervous again. Hold on, let me She looks so dope. I'm sorry. I love this so much. I'm just so proud of myself. Like, look at, like, this one right here. This one. This one. Not me moving her face. This one. I love it. And then, was it this? And her? I love them. I love them so much. Yes, all of these have lips. So, okay. As some of you know, I am making a visual novel game. And just in case, and by the way, this quote unquote announcement is going to come as a shock to, as a surprise to like nobody, but these are going to be characters in the game. Shut up, Frank, I told you yesterday. Especially her. I love her so much. I love her. See, okay, Afro, I like it too without the lines. I love it without the lines. It looks so good. Yes, this is what I meant by industry. Yes. Yes. I still gotta work on this one some more. I'm gonna tweak and work with her some more. But yes, I am making a visual novel game, and the whole reason that I was taking drawing classes, I'm sorry, I love her so much. Bogum? Okay. Okay, so wait, so what's her name? Let's name her, since we're here. Let's name her. Right? Ooh. Ooh. Rain it is. Okay. No, I like Rain. I like Rain. Plus Happy, you already named one. And so yes. I like Rain. Cause it's very like strong and like to the point. Look at how cute she is. And it's so wild, like looking at this, like sitting back and like I did this. Like this is something I did. I'm still in doubt that you picked that one because I was referencing someone in real life. I mean, if you already got Geneva typed out, so but yes, over time I will be refining these characters, trying to get them to look the best that they can. They will be in the game. I'm starting to work on a story, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is. But just know that if I can find a way to like storyboard like all of these, like this storyline that I have in my head, it's on. Like if I can find a way to just like lay this stuff out in a way that's like manageable too, it's, yeah.